Syrian gang. It's been a minute since I've done the individual sign readings, and I know, I've been swearing up and down for months that I'd be getting these done or at least starting them back up, and life was just really, really hectic for a while, you guys. Um, I had some losses in my family and things like that that really pulled me away from being more productive on YouTube and social media and stuff like that. So, it's better that I'm getting them done now than not doing them at all, right? So, we're going to start off this month because it is the middle of the month. We're going to be just doing a mid-month reading, and beginning at the beginning of next month, we'll start off doing a full month reading, like the entire month, for the whole month of August. And then in the middle, we'll do just like the mid-month bonus reading, just to kind of spot cleanse and pick up on any energies that didn't come through on the original reading. And yeah, I think that's how we're gonna roll it. So you'll have two chances to catch a reading for your individual sign, plus every Sunday night at 7:30 p.m. Pacific, 10:30 p.m. Eastern is the very famous, dare I say very famous, but my most known for stream, the Sunday night all signs live reading for the week. Plus, I am now doing tarot live on locations. I just did my first one a couple weeks ago, live from Universal Studios Hollywood, which was very interesting. It's just like a fun thing I'm doing to kind of, see what happens at different locations that I'm already at. Sometimes some will be, when I'm with Fluffy doing a paranormal investigation, just checking out a really cool location, or just on the road for our travels, things like theme parks, beaches, just whatever, just a really cool, fun place to, do a reading at. And so we're just going to do some live on location ones, and we'll do those as all signs. If somebody walks up and wants a reading, I might do an on the spot live reading for them. We're going to play with it. It'll be something fun and see how it grows and goes. And the other thing I want to mention is to schedule a personal reading with yours truly. All the information you will ever need for that is listed in the description box below. You will not be able to reach out to me via social media to schedule a reading. So do not reach out to me on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, or anything like that trying to schedule a personal reading. I will not be doing any scheduling on there. The email address that all the scheduling will be going through, the only email address the scheduling will be going through, is listed in the description box below. The reason I am refraining from mixing scheduling, readings, anything like that with my social medias is because of the fake profiles and how people have been receiving messages from fake, tarot readers, or fake profiles of tarot readers, myself included, where they were, hey, I need to do this reading for you, or would you like a reading? I've never once solicited a reading to anybody, and I never will. So never have, never will. And so I want to keep that very separate to kind of keep you guys safe from scammers, because people have lost money and all kinds of stuff. And it's not cool, But there's no other way to really keep you guys safe than to know that if you would like a personal reading, that is the one and only place that you will be able to schedule it. Plus, it goes directly to my calendar, so it's very easy for me to see whose readings are coming up, things like that. If I go through social media, like I had on with a few people, it can be difficult with my daily hustle and bustle of my 9 to 5, which is not even a 9 to 5. It's like way longer than that. And being a mom and also being a content creator and all that, it can get a lot chaotic. So this helps simplify things, keep things on a regular rotation, and a lot more punctual. So yeah, the only place you can schedule a personal reading of any sort is at the email address listed in the description box below. Alrighty. So same rules go As always, I'm going to be concentrating on the energies of the reading, so I don't really pay attention to the chat too terribly much. My wonderful moderators, the people that are in blue, will come in, they'll greet you, and all of that. Just know that I appreciate you guys in the utmost in every way, shape, and form. You guys are amazing, and I always am so happy to see you guys coming and, enjoying and watching the lives. So, yeah, let's go ahead and see what's going on for the wonderful sign of Cancer for this month, July 2022. And these readings are considered timeless, even though they are recorded in July of 2022. The reading may apply to you when it reaches you. Oops. And if you do not resonate with this reading for some reason, please check your moon and rising sign, as those may apply to you even better, or may help even bridge some gaps in this reading and things like that. So make sure you're checking with your big three to make sure you're getting the utmost value from the readings, okay? And if you do all that and nothing's still resonating, maybe it's just not your month with me. There's several other YouTubers out there that do wonderful monthly readings, and they may apply to you even better. And if not, check back on the Sunday night stream to see if your All Signs weekly reading applies to you even better. And if not, then you know what? Maybe this just isn't your week for a reading. So check back at another time, or go check out a previous stream that you may have missed. That reading may apply to you. All right, guys. So, Cancer, Knight of Wands, the Six of Cups in reverse. Pardon me. I still have a little bit of a cough, okay, from the 5 weeks ago when I got sick. The Eight of Swords in the upright, the Death card in the upright, the World card in reverse, the Devil in reverse, and the Hierophant in the reverse is the overall energy for this reading. So let's go ahead and get started. How I normally do this is we're going to go over the main points of this spread. We'll use a second deck for clarifiers on specific cards to kind of fill in the gaps and loopholes of the reading to just bring forth a lot more information and energies from that specific card, as you'll see momentarily. And then we're going to close this off with some advice moving forward, and then finally I will pull some awesome numbers and letters charms that can possibly help you connect to the energies of this reading, or just might have some significance to you for those that are really into letters and numerology. Alrighty, so Cancer, Knight of Wands, and the Six of... Alrighty, so let's see. With the Hierophant in reverse, there is something going on in the sense of, this could be, when I see the Hierophant in reverse like this, a lot of people will read this as, a marriage failing. Because with the Hierophant, this is somebody of, higher, almost, not almost, but religious authority, moralities, things like that. Some people take the Hierophant as a signifier of marriage, because as you see, we have people looking up to him in his very, religious authority. And when we see this in the reverse, it could be the, absence or, discretion of the morals or commitment. And that's what it generally establishes, is the commitment factor in the moral compassing. Hopefully I'm conveying that correctly. And because sometimes my words get the better of me, as you guys know. So this, in conjunction with other cards, can sometimes mean, divorces, or just where you are without your spiritual connection context, the morality of it. You've relinquished yourself from, that being subservient or anything like that. Okay, Knight of Wands in reverse. So at one point you were, a driving factor going forward on, something you've completely decided to halt that. In the Knight of Wands, when it's in its upright, that's fast, fiery energy going forward. In the reverse, quite the opposite. He's like, he's more reluctant. He's like, I don't know where I'm, you know, I don't think that I really want to go forward in this as rigorously as I once did, that type of energy. So, with that conjunction with the Six of Cups, I'm seeing more because the Six of Cups is more of your reminiscent energy. When it's in its upright, you're really thinking about, like, elements of the past and stuff like that. With this, it's like when I see something like this, it's like, you're not even thinking about it. It's not some, it's like a mental lock is what I'm seeing here, because you do have the Eight of Swords. And where we would look at this in a, oh, you're, reminiscing on, like, childhood memories or previous, like, because you see the two children in here, but where you're reminiscing on, previous happy memories. When it's in the reverse, you might be reminiscing or thinking back and being kind of locked into memories that are more foreboding than they were, like, happy and joyous. So, with this Eight of Swords, as you can see, this is somebody who feels like they're bound and, imprisoned more than they are, free and open. So, and that's exactly what it means, is to be imprisoned by your thoughts, because swords are air energy, which controls, or mostly contributed to thought patterns. Um, so when I see something like this, it's like, instead of going forward with that, rigorousness and that tenacity and things like that, you're like halted and stopped, you know, in being locked in a memory or a sequence of thought pattern that is just more, dare I say, it's stopping you. It's like, no, you're locked in something. Something has definitely ended, you know, with the death card. That usually means, a rebirthing. The death card does mean endings, but it's unlike the Tower card, where it's way more chaotic and just, some people with the destructive behavior. It's a lot more chaos and a lot more, turmoil than the death card in and of itself. The death card is more about, like, a rebirthing or a reincarnation of something, a cycle, in other words. So where something ends, something new begins. But this is like, how we transition from fall, winter, and then go into spring. Like, that type of transitory pattern is what you will see in the death card. But you'll go from, like, summer, and then we'll head into fall, and you see it's that, that time where things go to pass or go dormant or anything like that, in order to, reestablish, reconserve, things like that, so they can rebloom and reblossom. And that would be the core essence of, like, what the death card would represent. Like I said, reincarnations and rebirths. So something has ended, so something new can start. All right, so what we're having a problem here with Cancer is we have the World card in the reverse. So what I'm seeing from this is we are being very locked into a cycle. And this is a cycle that's still ongoing. Some people would consider this to be a very karmic cycle. So it doesn't necessarily have to be that, but it very much can be. If this is a cycle, or if you're noticing the pattern in your life that, every so often, you just find yourself in these ruts where you're feeling depression, your mind is very, very focused on the things that you've lost in the past. Maybe you have seen some actual physical deaths in your life recently. People that were very, very important to you. Maybe perhaps people that were very, very monumental in your family. And as we're going forward into these future months, such as, October, November, December, even January, these very collective based time periods, it's almost foreboding, because you're like, how am I going to move onward? And I can totally relate, you guys, because I just lost my father. How am I going to go onward into, like, Thanksgiving and Christmas and New Year, in absence of this person, or in absence of whatever it is that you are, that is encapsulating you, that is mentally locking you, things like that. So that's what I'm seeing is, like, you're kind of in a cycle type situation where you're like, this is, I can't get my mind out of this. But you also have the devil card in reverse. Now, when the devil's in their upright, that is a lot of mental control and things like that. This can also be addictions. This can also be just things that are, very, very much shackling you to something, controlling energy, things like that. With this, it's like you're trying to not, and when I see it in these patterns, you're trying to not let something be so controlling. You really are trying to learn the lessons that are being presented to you at this time, as we do experience cycles in life, both of, you know, blessings and curses, almost dare I say, are blooms and decays. You're trying to understand it. You're trying to really open your heart and mind to the fact that this is a life cycle pattern. This is just something that occurs. But the feelings that you have with it, the mental state that has come along with this, is really, really hard on you right now. This can be very draining. This can be just very emotional. And it can be very mentally consuming. I will say that much because, like I said, I can relate. I just lost my father, and I, pardon me, I am going through this where I'm like, this is gonna be the first Christmas in my entire life since the day I've been born that I don't have that extremely important person in my life. This is gonna be the first Christmas, the first Thanksgiving, the first, of these major holidays where I cannot see my father in the flesh. Like how do people, like, in my mind, because my father was so, like, I was a big old daddy's girl. I am a big old daddy's girl. So in my mind, I'm like, how do I go forward? Like, how am I going to feel on these days? Like, what is this going to be like? And it is very foreboding because, it's very difficult for, anybody to wrap their mind around, the loss, especially when it's, the first go arounds with certain events, and stuff like that, in their absence or anything like that, or in the absence of whatever the situation is that is coming through for you, Cancer. Give me one sec. And it can be just, very mentally, locking and jarring and emotionally jarring. So I totally get that, where we can feel like this. So let's go ahead and clarify some stuff real quick and see if we can get some more information for you, even though I think that these cards are very specific. Let's just see if there's any clarifiers, and then we'll go ahead and get some advice going forward. All right, so let's clarify the Hierophant real quick as the overall energy. Okay. Knight of Swords. Yeah, there's a sense of like desolate, celebratory energy. As you can see right here with the Knight of Swords, this is just something really that, the going forward mental prospect of something, with the Five of Pentacles. See how they're outside in the cold and the salvation is there, but they're on the outside of it. And then the Three of Cups, that's the celebratory energy. So what I'm seeing right here is like, you're trying to, with this Hierophant energy, it's like you're trying to understand how to, move forward and still be respectful of, the lesson in something, the spiritual lesson of something, when you're feeling very, distraught and discouraged and desolate from something. It's like, how do I reach that point of, understanding? And the biggest thing that you're going to be wanting to do, guys, is to really just, celebrate as much as you can. Celebrate little things with, as people that make you feel good, family, friends, things like that. Looking for the answers within. We may not always have them, and seldomly, honestly, we do. So there may not be an answer to be held. The lesson that you may be learning right now is, to really rely on, in those moments of celebration, to really kind of rely on, the family that you have to help get you through it. But yeah, right now where we don't understand why this had to be this way, this can also mean, don't go partying too hard, okay? Don't go trying to drown your sorrows about something, okay? That might not be the best thing for you, and that but that might be what you're trying to do, is you're trying to drown out something, and you might be trying to drown out your emotions by being like, you know what, I'm just gonna smile my way through it, or and when I say celebrate, you might also be trying to drink your way through it or something. For those that applies to, try not to do too much of that. I understand, like, I'm going to celebrate the life of somebody, or I'm going to celebrate the good of this situation, even if I'm feeling horrible about it. Just be responsible, because you don't want to cause yourself more emotional, physical, or, pains of any sort. But what I'm truly seeing from this is, at this time of lack of understanding, we may need to go forward and rely on those that are not really rely, but comfort ourselves with those that understand what we're grieving and understand the situation that we're going through. All right. Um, so let's go ahead and clarify the world card. Okay, that one wanted to come out. So temperance, so patience. I'm not being very patient with this right now. I mean, it's probably difficult. These are heavy emotions, heavy situations. It's hard to be too patient with the process. So let's see what else we got here. Okay, so we've got, look at all that, all major arcana. So this world card, this cycle, I mean, it's there for a reason for you, okay? But it's presenting you with new beginnings, new understandings. You just got to have patience for it, okay? You're going to have to let things go through the way they are, okay? It's on a path, for a reason, and it's the proper path for you. You're just going to have to let it do its thing, and that's what that temperance card is telling you, because you have the Fool card, and that is new beginnings, just going forward and finding your way through, just going kind of to and fro. Don't take anything too terribly serious, but don't sit there and dwell on things. And it's just letting you kind of walk through something with a more freer mindset, lack of, somebody or something controlling of you. And with that high priestess, that is a higher understanding. She is the female counterpart to the emperor and high, or a high priest, somebody who has that mental understanding of all the elements coming into play and why they are the way they are. So, this is all really good energy. Honestly, Cancer, this isn't like, a bad reading at all. I think that this is very important for you to hear. So I'm gonna go ahead and clarify the Devil card, um, just just for certainty's sake, just to see if there's any information in there that we might need, or that might be of benefit. Let's see. Please clarify the Devil card for Cancer. Okay. Two more. Okay. So, we have the Eight of Pentacles in reverse, and the Judgment in reverse to the Four of Pentacles. So you are, what I'm seeing right here is you're not really ready for any of, you weren't really ready for any of this. There was no preparation for what came to be and what happened. And right now you're just trying to conserve what you can and hold on to the memories that you have, or what you have in this situation. You're trying to hold on to things that are near and dear to you as much as possible. But, and that's fine, but don't let it be so controlling of you overall. Like, don't let it make you, falter or halt any future progress you may be trying to make or need to make. All right. So like I said, if this has to do with the actual physical loss, which is the heavy energy that I'm getting, for that certain cancer group or that specific cancer, you it doesn't want you to not enjoy things. It doesn't want you to not find comfort in things. It's just telling you, that it is very understandable what and all you're going through. But if we stay so locked in the pain, we will lose the good in the memories that we are trying to hold on to, if that makes sense. Okay, so let's go ahead and get some advice moving forward, shall we? That was a very interesting read, Cancer. Alright. So advice moving forward for Cancer. Advice for Cancer, July 2022. Let's see what we got. Okay. There's that world card again for you, Cancer. All right. So right now, the advice moving forward is simple. Don't be so to and fro about things just yet, okay? Right now, it's like, don't win victories just for the sake of saying that you won them. Let the cycles occur, because that's really going to be the part where you get to work on things and enrich yourself overall, okay? See right here with the Five of Swords, he's won his battle, but at what? Like, what did he gain? Like that type of thing. Right now, in while you're in this cycle that you're in, you know, where you are experiencing the understanding of why certain things are no longer in your life. If that reading didn't have to deal with you having a physical loss, maybe you had some other type of, loss, a loss of some sort that you are needing to really understand what it means for you in your world. Don't try to block it off. Don't try to be like, I'm over it, just to say that I'm over it. Because being over something or getting over something, if you do it too quickly and prematurely or too effortlessly, you lose the value in it. You lose the value in the lesson that is being presented to you. You're not even able to really preserve the memory or the camaraderie of it, because you're just like, I just needed to get over the pain. I just needed to do this. So we end up staying in those cycles until the lesson's learned. So that's what it's telling you. It's going to be, even in order to be proud of yourself, in order to be able to utilize this for future gain, and to have these fruitions, you need to understand the lesson within this cycle. So that's the advice moving forward for you there, Cancer. And let's go ahead and get your numbers and letters all ready for you and see what comes up. Maybe it's something good that you can utilize. Like I was telling, I think it was Taurus. This one person said that they added up all the numbers and then deduced them down to get their angel number for the month, which I thought was kind of cool. So you got a few different ones here. You got some people use these as initials for people, or they spell things out for them, but they'll add up all these numbers, or they'll look at the numbers and form dates and stuff like that. So however it works out for you there, Cancer. And I want to thank each and every one of you for, spending the last few moments with me watching this video. And things coming up in the future. I've got the tarot live on location in Old Town San Diego this Tuesday night at the El Camposanto Cemetery. So we're going to do an all signs reading right there live in a very, very haunted cemetery, historically known haunted cemetery. It is right adjacent to the very famously haunted Whaley House in Old Town San Diego. So we might be taking a little stroll down there and stuff like that. It'll be really cool. Hopefully I will see you at that live. And once again, thank you so very much. I appreciate every single one of you, and just know that I think you're amazing. do that stride of pride every single day and know that you are the magic in your world. Thank you so much and stay blessed, guys. Till I see you next time, take care.